Hi, my name is Kevin Russell. I'm going to show you today on how to drill the bat pins on a wheel that doesn't have bat pins. I was able to get the Vevor 9.8 inch small potter's wheel, and then their 14 inch or 35 centimeter for their larger. In front of me is a Shimpo VL Lite. This is a Soldner pre-S series, but it's pretty much like the S series wheel. And then over here to my right, that is a Amico #1. That basically is a merge between an Amico wheel and a Brent Potter's wheel, where it has a Brent control box, a Brent motor, and a Brent pedal that actually controls that wheel. In total though, I actually own 14 wheels. I have Shimpo, I've got Brent, I've got Laguna, I've got Bailey, and then I have an additional Shimpo RKO than the Shimpo that's sitting here. So I have quite a few wheels. I've got a large background and throwing big pieces on the potter's wheel. I'm going to end up doing testing with these pieces, these wheels, to see what type of pieces I can actually make out on these wheels. I'm going to end up putting them on concrete blocks when I do my testing, and I'm going to do my testing when I'm at my studio. To start off with though, I'm going to talk about how to drill holes. This is a speedball bat, fairly common. It's got the two size holes for adapting the bat onto bat pins on the back. You have a 9-inch set that's here and a 10-inch set that's here. This wheel being 9.8 inches, the bat pins will just barely fit for the 9-inch. And for this wheel, I was able to locate and have plenty of room still left for the 10-inch pins that are very much like what would be on the Shimpo VL Lite and even the Amico wheel. Soldner actually used to use 3 pins in theirs, so this is actually an adapter to make it so it fits the 2 pins, and I have that set at 10 inches for this wheel so that I actually can fit regular bats, but I kept the true 3-pin system that was on there from when Soldner sold it. The first thing that you need to do is locate the center line on your potter's wheel. I used a ruler that has a T-square and used this to help to get everything lined up and get everything straight when I was doing this, to find the midline, and made sure that it went right through the middle. Then I used this same form of ruler to go through and find my 10 inches on center from either side, so that this red line that goes across from here, which I don't know if you can see, is actually the center line that's going to indicate where this needs to be drilled, and I need to stay right on those 2 spots so that when I do this, that after the fact that my bat pins are symmetrical and it makes it so it works. Did the same thing on this smaller wheel, the 9.8, and they're all the way to the edge at the 9 inches. It's going to be fairly tight to do on, but I think I'm going to just barely get these drilled and be able to get these on here to be able to make that wheel functional. Other than doing those steps, then I do need to, of course, have bat pins, which I bought off of Amazon. Then you need a set of metal bits, which have DeWalt, a drill. Then you'll need some sort of hex Allen wrench to tighten up them after the fact, and possibly a pair of pliers to hold the wing nut on from the bottom. So that's the basics that you need for getting this started. I'm not going to sit here and bore you to go through all the drilling, but the first step I am going to need to do is I'm going to take a sharpened metal object and the hammer, and I'm going to create a dent, and I'm using an older drill bit to do that, and I'm going to put that on there and go right to where I want that hole to be, and I'm going to use that hammer and do what's called a punch and basically create a dent in the top of this potter's wheel so that when I start with the drill bit, I'll be able to get it right where it needs to be. The next step past that, then I'll use a drill bit that's fairly small to drill a pilot hole. I need to get that started and get that through and get that even. It'll be easier to do that with a smaller drill bit than a bigger one, and then go up a size and drill the next size out, which is about the same diameter of the pins, to make it so that the holes are actually in the right spot and it can actually go all the way through and so I can tighten the wing nut on either side. So I will do those steps and I'll show you the end result. Thanks for watching.